In this video, I'm going to talk about how we can all learn from Justin Bieber. Here's a guy that was clearly mistreated as a young individual, went through the ringer, ended up with all the money in the world, could have went down a dark path very easily. Somewhere along the line, maybe he considers himself to have done, but he called on Jesus, and apparently now everywhere he goes, he's giving credit to Jesus for helping him heal and see the light and get back on the right path. This is what everybody needs to recognize, the struggles you went through in life that were challenging, that you don't understand why you went through. Heal from them, and you can help other people, and you can find purpose from your pain. You do have free will, and when you ask, that becomes so much more potent. Like if you just go through your life willy-nilly, Jesus and the angels can only do so much. But when you're like, Archangel Michael, protect me, he's like, he puts his margarita down, he's like, what'd you say? Oh, okay, yeah, sure, no problem, right? And the same thing with Jesus. on on October 20th, 2020, I was at work. It was around noon, right? And I was working in a steel shop. I got my hoodie on with an earphone in, listening to all these downloaded spiritual teachers, right? And the first video that I was listening to was this guy talking about how every time you have a shower, it's like you're getting baptized. And me, I have like 3 showers a day, so I totally resonate with that. Next video I was watching was this woman who was channeling Jesus, and he was saying, if anyone out there is having a hard time in this incarnation opening up their heart, invite me in and I will help you. And so after watching these 2 videos, I was like, in my head, I'm like, okay, Jesus, if you can hear me, how about the next time I have a shower, you baptize me and help me open up my heart. And this was a time in my life when, it was just months after getting a divorce, selling my beautiful house, moving in with my dad at the age of 40, and having my son dropped off every week crying. And not only that, I realized that a job that I had for the last 22 years was not capable of supporting me as well as paying child support. So I had all this pressure on me, and honestly really didn't want to be alive more in those days than back in 2014 when I actually attempted to leave, but I'd been shown that that's no longer an option. So I was stuck with all these emotions, and that's why I believe Jesus came to me. But I forgot completely what I said when I got home that day. Usually I was home by 4 o'clock. I'd go straight into the shower, because I worked in a steel shop, welding, smoke, like grinding, there's steel everywhere, right? I'm home dirty. So I'd go straight in the shower, but I got rerouted after work that day. Something happened, I had to run some errands. Because of doing all these things, I forgot about what I said. So I'm in the shower, and I always have it as hot as I can tolerate it. So I'm standing in the shower, and this warm wave of energy just comes over my body, and I'm like, what the heck, right? And then it happened again seconds later, and the next thing you know, my skin starts popping like popcorn. And that's when this clear soul of Jesus came up to me, and all this energy started, like unconditional love just started pouring through my body. And so if you want to receive, sometimes people be like, oh, I asked and I didn't get nothing. You have to understand, check out my channel if you want to learn about understanding signs from the universe. I post about all this kind of stuff, but it's not always going to be a visitation like that. I had to go to hell to have things like that happen to me, right? And I asked for 34 years and got nothing. So don't always expect a glowing ball to show up, but just asking and being open, even if you don't believe in Jesus, just say out loud or in your head, you know what, Jesus, I don't really believe in you, but if you'd like to give me a sign, I'm open to it. And be open. Maybe you experience unconditional love in your heart that you've never experienced before out of nowhere. Or maybe you'll get a sign that's, resonates with you. So you have to ask, and you have to be open and be patient. Don't put a timeline on it, and have no expectations. When it comes to my healing journey, in 2014, I attempted to take my life, and Archangel Michael appeared. And in 2020, I had a visitation from the soul of Jesus, and he telepathically communicated to me. It may have been Archangel Michael that day that saved you in your garage, but it was I who sent him. And I've had a very strong connection with Jesus or Yeshua my whole entire life. That doesn't mean it's always been positive. It's been polar opposites, but I've always had a close connection to them. You know, it's kind of like a family member. When you know them well and you have an intimate relationship with them, it's not always going to be positive, right? And regardless of whatever side of the fence I was on, I always turned to Jesus for help, you know. Yeah, when I had that fallen angel attached to me for 18 hours and I was so exhausted to the point I couldn't move, I started crying. I just asked for help and I felt the energy of Jesus come in and clear this thing off me. And so, you know, I tell all my stories about my interactions with Jesus in my new biography, Finding Me. But, you know, just look at Justin Bieber as an example. Here's a guy that's gone through some shit, turned to Jesus, and he's helping other people, you know, find the way. This is what you got to do with the pain that you've gone through in this life. That's all I got. Thanks for watching.